pitch to start kicking ass, just like it said at the beginning of the program.
Man of the hour, tower of power, too sweet to be sour.
Sending your ass on the jabroni jet to the other side of the territory, brother.
The Alabama Hammer.
Nightmares on the best part of my day.
The goods from the woods.
Hot damn!
Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Pat Riley.
I'm a Zuganat man of the hour, tower of power, too sweet to be sour.
And this is episode number 100.
Yes.
Huh? How about that?
You just stumbled onto an event.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, there should be
special.
There should be confetti or something. And we're joined by our very special guest.
Thank you, Andy Haynes.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. Thank you.
Who's won a free sweet tea just for being here tonight.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can you? It's such a difference. Like you can tell I'm from the Northwest by the way I talk. Like it feels so stuck compared to you Southern people. You guys are just like waxing poetic, and I'm like, hey, how's everybody doing?
Yeah, I mentioned a couple weeks ago I went up for a wedding in Yakima, Washington, and ran into a couple of musicians. We played some of their music a couple weeks ago on the show. The band's called Planes on Paper, and we started talking. It's these two great people, Naveed Elliott and Jen Borse. And Naveed mentioned, he was like, oh, I actually know a comedian who lives in LA. Do you know Andy Haynes? And I was like, yeah, I fucking know Andy Haynes. And so, yeah. And so apparently you guys went to high school together.
Yeah, I went to all 4 years of high school with Naveed, and he was in my class and stuff. Like we knew each other pretty well.
His music is very like kind of folk music now, but you said that at one point he was doing gangster rap.
When I first met Naveed, he played like, I don't know if it was quite punk, but it was like definitely rock.
Yeah.
And then he started to like experiment with like hip hop. They did like, honestly, him and his friends were like the most talented musicians I've ever met. This one time we went to the ocean. They had a beach house. We went out to the ocean and they recorded a concept album that was like a gangster rap, like Brother Lynch hung, like weird, like dark characters. I think it was like Count Smoke Cracula and like really creative shit. And we're like 17, 18-year-old kids.
Oh, man.
And they just recorded like a whole gangster rap album in one weekend. And I was just like floored by it.
Wow. Count Smoke Cracula.
But now he plays like the most beautiful melodic folk music.
Yeah.
It's so soft and tender.
So
now
nice.
he snorts crack.
It really mellows him out, the crack.
Could Count Smoke Cracula beat Tony the Tiger in a fight, Mr. Goodnight?
No.
Even if you have the
Not even with the crack.
Not even with the crack?
No.
Okay.
I think he's going to be out singing dicks to buy rocks and shit like that. He can't be Tony.
Wait, is Tony the height of fighting? Is that what we've
He can
decided
be. I
already?
always say he could beat any serial character in a fight.
Yeah.
Oh, serial character. Okay.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe Count Smoke
Smoke
Cracula
Cracula.
might
Mr. T, too.
Oh, Mr. T isn't a full-time cereal box character, so he's not out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can't have a day job.
Yeah.
Oh, I
so
see.
like Flutie Flakes doesn't count because
No. The only one I accept that's a licensed character is the Flintstones because they've been on that for longer, for 40 years or something now, and they're not even on TV. They're just cereal and vitamins nowadays.
What about John Goodman, Fred Flintstone versus cartoon personified Tony the Tiger?
Oh, cartoon personified Tony the Tiger is a multi-sport athlete and could definitely take down even John Goodman as Fred Flintstone because I always say what happens during the end credits of the Flintstones.
What about in like a theater kind of like in like a masculine acting kind of way? Do you think Tony has that kind of range?
If they're having an act
Tony
off?
could do Shakespeare. You name it, Tony can do it.
Alas, poor York, I knew him, Horatio. He was great.
Exactly. I mean, seriously, when you walk around with nothing on but a bandana, you gotta be the master of your whole domain in the world.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get a lot of people saying shit about you.
Is Tony basically the cartoon world's O.J. Simpson pre-murder?
No, because if Stardust never killed nobody. And two, no, because Tony isn't like some kind of Brian Gumble or something.
Yeah.
Tony's out there on the street. Tony's coaching kids in soccer on the weekends. Tony's helping the urban youth.
Yeah.
Tony's helping to this, and he's just out there being great and just climbing a mountain because it's there. What's Lucky Charms doing on the weekend?
Toucan Sam?
He probably is, because you never know about those. Toucan Sam is probably the only animal more endangered than Tony. He's a bird with a cocaine problem.
This is great.
This is the centennial, if you will.
I'm still hung up on Count Smokes Crackula, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody is.
Well, because there's nothing more genius than like a pun that just doesn't even try. I just love that, where it's just not even punny. It's just like, it doesn't even flow, and there's just an incredible genius to that.
Yeah, I love a forced pun.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, something you just have to live in.
So that reminds me, in my hometown, there was a guy who very similarly was just like a straight ahead kind of punk musician, and then got into his rap stage. But his rap name was Dr. Jeffrey Holstrom, which I always thought was amazing. And he did his song was called Hot Carl, and it is
great.
fucking fantastic.
Is that one of them sex things where you shit on somebody?
Yeah, pretty much.
You walk down the street, searching for women like you. Hot Carl, with his shifty eyes and his greasy pompadour too. Hot Carl is a sexy man about 5'2", but if you don't watch out, he'll poop on you. Hot Carl.
I forgot what their band's name was, but they all went on to. They're still all musicians. It's kind of interesting. They all went on to. One of them actually, I think he maybe won his buddy Naveed's co-band member. This guy Scott Suyama went on to I think win a Grammy for video game music or something
Wow.
Is Count Crack Smokula, is that out there? Is the record on YouTube or on the internet or something?
I bet it's not out there, but I bet it exists on a hard drive or something.
Yeah.
They maybe put it out. They did. It was. I mean, this is 1999, 2000. So there was no YouTube. There was no Napster. None of that stuff was out yet.
But days when you had to keep it real.
Yeah, I mean, all our lives would be different if we would have. It's very I was making 3-minute sketches all through freshman year of college, all through college, but there wasn't a YouTube, so I would make them and then I would show them to 5 people and they'd be like, "That's funny," and then I would fuck off.
Yeah.
And I would have a completely different life right now if there would have been a platform for them.
Everything is kind of remember we had the episode about fan fiction on here?
Yeah.
And people draw pictures or they record songs. You remember when you'd even goof around with your buddies and you'd have a tape recorder and you'd just make stories and dumb shit.
I had a bunch of friends that had tape recorders full of sketches.
Yeah.
They did,
and
they're
pretend talk shows and things.
yeah, they're doctors now and shit like that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I've still got some of those.
Yeah.
on tape from junior high school. We somehow occupied the perfect middle ground. There was this year in between Tom Green and Jackass. So we predated Jackass by a lot. We were really into Tom Green. So our whole goal was to basically take cameras into downtown Auburn. When I was 13, and I see this as a very kind of crucial juncture in my life upon hindsight, where I was turning 13 and my mom was like, "Well, look, you can only have one. You can either have the BMX bike, which was really huge at the time, or you can have the camera." And I think if I had chosen the BMX bike, I would probably be thinner. I'd probably be married. I'd probably have a fucking job in the suburbs. But I chose the goddamn camera, and here I am.
Yeah.
And
you could still get a bike.
Yeah, you could. But Rivers wouldn't have a bronze medal from the X Games, so it's
Exactly.
that's right.
and a crippling Mountain Dew habit. But there was so much teenage obnoxiousness that was inspired by the Tom Green show.
Oh yeah, dude. We kind of did what is now known as planking. We were real big into that, where you just block the entire sidewalk by just laying down on your face and then just filming people's reaction and stuff like that.
It's like
love that stuff.
every high school in America had its own resident Tom Green.
Oh, that was-
that
that
was
was
after
That was
my
actually kind of Naveed and those guys and me and my buddy Zach. That was kind of us.
Oh, was it?
We were really. There was a freedom in a pre 9/11 world where you could do some pretty awesome shit.
Any story that starts
And
with that.
we did dry ice bombs. You guys ever done dry ice bombs?
No, what's that? Is it,
You take a 2-liter bottle or a 1-liter, whatever, a plastic bottle that has a screw-on lid,
yeah.
and you put a little bit of dry ice in there, and you put some water in there. And you just let that thing go. You screw it on tight, and a 2-liter with that water with a little bit of dry ice and water. It sounds now the SWAT team would get called.
Right.
It's that loud and big and
Jeez.
if people were walking by, they thought they died for a second. We would just hide those in the library and then. Just put them in a garbage can in the corner of the library and then just sit across the library, just reading magazines, just waiting for Can you imagine how much trouble we'd get
Oh
in
my
now?
God! Yeah. You'd probably have all been
I've
shot.
always said, if you never lived in the real America unless you lived in the pre 9/11 America, because that's when it was the free country.
Yeah, it was free and real. You could set off explosives.
You could
and
do whatever you want.
it's-
And just
oh,
get
we-
in trouble.
And the older of a person you ask, like if you ask an old man what they did to screw around when they were like kids, it's like
It
many
gets
orders of magnitude
more and more-
Yeah, they'd be like, we
ridiculous.
shot at people's feet.
We built pipe bombs.
Yeah.
You know? That's what it was.
We blew up a bridge when a march was going across it.
I mean, that's I'm not at liberty to say much beyond the facts because I do know who's involved, and this is sort of an existing mystery in Auburn, Alabama. But basically, a team of gentlemen in the '70s who rappelled up the clock tower in Auburn and took the hands down and replaced it with the Mickey Mouse hands and shit like that.
oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's
Unsolved mysteries of Auburn.
and-
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, we had a smokestack at our school that was probably, I want to say 200 feet tall, and people would climb it and paint their class onto it.
Right.
But it was insane. Like, the only people that could do it really were people that had, like, mountain climbing experience.
Yeah.
Because you had to figure out how to get up a 200-foot brick wall.
Right. So what were they just using like spike boots and then like the little like
They were going into the furnace room, entering what this is. I've never even gotten close to trying to do it.
Right.
But from what I understand, there's Seattle's the type of place where people are just mountaineers, but they also live in Seattle.
yeah.
So there was like kids that would be like mountain climbing on the weekends, going to school in the middle of a city on the weekdays.
Uh-huh.
And they would go into the furnace room, and I think there was a ladder up the inside of the smokestack.
Oh, but then they still have to go up the top and then
So they
climb
go
out.
to the top, set up a rig, and then
and then
belay
rappel
down,
yeah.
and then paint from there.
Oh fuck. That's
But I mean,
Some
you know,
serious graffiti.
Yeah, I mean, like back in in the day, it's like if you wanted to be a prankster, you had to actually put some physical ability into it.
Yeah, one of
It's
these
like,
kids-
nowadays they just make these stupid little vines and stuff like that.
So
that
Yeah, the
require no
internet
effort.
has taken the raw physicality of planking.
It's like no,
I mean pranking.
back in my day, it's
And
like
Planking too.
yeah, back in my day, you had to climb to the top of the water tower in order to put the
I used to
one of
climb
those-
up just
the
to see if the
butt-
girls from Petticoat Junction to be up in there.
spray paint a big butt on there or whatever. that's your
There was one kid.
your
he-
contribution.
A butt with a tattoo of a butt. On
And be like, yeah, I saw that on Beavis and Butthead.
Those are the good old days.
There was a guy who climbed the Space Needle, the outside of it.
fuck.
He like climbed the part that you had to have rock climbing experience to
Yeah.
climb, and they stole the American flag off the top.
was a really angry Spider-Man or something?
He just thought it'd be funny, and so
Wow.
he showed me this picture. I remember this. It was like my freshman year of high school. He showed me a picture of the American flag covering his parents' entire home. It was that big of a flag. He just had the whole, and so they just
Well, it's hard to hide evidence like that.
it was the size of a home. Another funny story is one time on the top of the Space Needle, it was like for some reason they let some people base jump to like make a point about like base jumping's cool or something, and one of the
I
people
love
got
that it wasn't even about like an oil spill or about any
no,
sort
it
of
was just
environmental.
like they wanted to do some gimmick, and it was like, all right, yeah, we're cool, we're Seattle, we let people do shit like that.
Yeah.
And one of their people's parachutes didn't open fully, and they like got supremely fucked up. It was like the one time.
Well, that's what happens when you jump from buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What he just got he lived though?
I think they like crushed their pelvis, something like that. Because like a lot of times when a parachute doesn't open, it just does that fucking windmill
whirly bird.
Yeah.
Oh, so he came down
I
like
think just whirly bird,
like a seed in the wind.
just a Mach 10 whirly bird into fucking concrete and
Oh, at least he
Fountains.
whirly birded because I thought he just dropped. And I was like, well, he just broke his pelvis.
Yeah,
I've been
that's-
praying to God, thank you.
Yeah, it's a horrifying injury, but the phrase "shattering your pelvis" is funny.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
That's my go-to if people ask me like, "Would you die off of something?" I go, "Nah, you'd shatter your pelvis." that's a pelvis shattering distance, but not a depth distance.
Yeah.
Pelvis shattering experience.
Will the last one to leave Seattle please turn out the lights? Those lights are the reason why she ain't here tonight. If you see her, then tell her that I left for home tonight. Will the last one to leave Seattle please turn out the light?
It's like when Batman's gonna throw that guy off the roof, and he's like, "Fall wouldn't from here wouldn't kill me." It's like, I'm counting on you shattering your bill.
Because that means you broke your butt.
You're an asshole, Batman.
Batman just giggles. Come on, Batman.
See, he was very pre 9/11 Batman because rich people doing that kind of high tech vigilanteism nowadays would never get away with it. And did he have a nuclear reactor in the Bat Cave?
Yeah.
Because he did on the old TV show.
Definitely in this last movie, the Bane movie.
Who's minding the shit, Alfred?
Yeah.
Who's the real
It's
threat
like
to Gotham?
Alfred, Morgan Freeman, and Batman just building nukes.
Like, we got this. Yeah, the three of us, 2
If
70-year-old
you
men.
think about that, like, I'm sure some comics covered it, but it is the weirdest thing to get behind. Like, a billionaire brat wants to fight crime on his own terms.
Yeah.
Like,
He's an asshole. He's like Donald Trump with a Halloween costume or some shit.
It's just like,
And
imagine.
he's too sissy to use a gun because if he pulled out a gun, everybody just laugh at him and say, "Why have you been wearing a Halloween costume and carrying a boomerang?"
But I'm sad that we don't get like the backstory behind it of like, Bruce Wayne taking the private jet to Chad to score like uranium or something like
yeah.
that.
We never see like the dirty business part that keeps Wayne Enterprises going.
Yeah, is the Penguin doing this? Is the Joker doing this? Who's the real bad guy? And it makes the police lazy, too, because they feel they have to do nothing except hand out tickets because Batman will just handle anything heavy.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he probably does buy like fucking extinct wood,
Yeah.
things like that. Do you hear about that with Gibson, where they were buying extinct wood?
Yeah, and they got raided by the FBI.
Yeah, I love that story.
What was this, for like fossil guitars or some shit?
No, there's
it's like
a protected forest in Madagascar that's like the oldest trees on Earth. Like trees the size of this apartment building, the base of the tree.
Yeah.
And there was a civil war, and some of the rebels were financing their war by cutting down these trees. And I'm talking like literally trees like that you would think like were Avatar level trees,
Yeah.
And Gibson was just going through like 4th and 5th parties to get this wood.
Because it's extremely rare wood.
Yeah, and it makes a really great guitar.
Yeah, it's like teak,
Does it?
but it's like you can probably make out of one tree. You can probably make 2 million guitars or something like that.
I didn't know that these Avatar trees, it's how serendipitous that they were so good for making guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
bad luck.
Who the hell
funny to
knew
think,
that?
Like in Avatar, like like they're cutting over those trees to make like guitars that folk singers are going to sing about the fallen trees.
Well, they paved paradise and they put up a parking lot. Or they make a guitar out of an old tree.
Yeah, and a Gibson factory.
Have you ever seen they have this? There's something that's crazy about the Atlanta airport where they show off all the stuff that they confiscate.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's like the
yeah.
thing-
Yeah, the big glass pillar that has who's bringing a goddamn weed whacker on a plane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have one in one of the terminals. I think it's E, which is like all the like endangered species pelts that they like confiscated.
Oh,
They
I
have
missed that. I just go straight to the smoking section.
They have that at the Vancouver border. It's like python boots with like the fucking snake's head as your toe and shit like that.
Yeah. I think
Weird.
there was one that was just like
Dude,
a
that's amazing.
There was like
Reba,
they
we
had
should get
one. It
matching
was like
pairs.
I was going to say,
there
I
was
want
like
that.
an absurd one where it was just like a giant beer trough that's made out of like a Kodiak bear's head. Like just like
The bear for the beer.
yeah, it's like an elephant foot like ottoman, just like evil boss level.
Well, that's
stuff.
like, remember on the internet a while ago, there was that yacht. I forgot who bought the yacht, but one of the things that it came with was the seats in the bar were made with whale foreskin.
That's a lot of whales. Just to make one
true.
seat. Why? Maybe they Jewish whales or something. They just donate it.
Yeah, they're like, oh, no,
you know
whales
you
got
can't
hurt.
eat shrimp.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, being a Jewish whale would suck, man.
Yeah, I know. There's
Yeah, I
nowhere
think
to go.
krill counts as shellfish.
Dude.
I've
You're
always
just
wondered
you're
about
just
that.
stuck eating photoplankton. That's all you can eat because
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's the only kosher. I don't think anything a whale eats is kosher.
Photoplankton,
really.
yeah.
Is it?
'Cause
Yeah,
it's
okay.
plants, so
yeah, I guess
yeah.
so. Yeah. So you
Yeah, I
could.
wonder what else.
Yeah, so you
Can
can.
they eat it on Sundays or whatever? Or do they just have to? Actually, that's not doing anything, right?
Yeah, that's Saturday. Yeah,
Saturday, you can't
Saturday.
do nothing.
Yeah, Saturday you
Yeah.
just chill. You have to get a small Elvis dolphin to go push.
But they could
buttons for
still,
you.
but you can
Stuff.
still eat. So the whale would still be able to.
Yeah,
that's
but I
what
don't
they
think you
do,
can
presumably.
prepare food. I think you have to
Okay.
eat. I don't know
So
exactly.
toothed whales. Well, again, there goes the squid.
Yeah.
But krill, you don't have to prepare, so this might work out for the whales.
Like if you're a baleen whale or something like that.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
A-okay. But, you know, if
and
you're
if
like
you
an
get
orca,
pods together, you can get maybe a mignon or something from them.
That's
for
crazy to
common
think that
prayer.
there's probably a human that's died by baleen whale. Like
Yeah.
it's been inhaled through teeth of a giant blue whale, and that was like their last thought. Like, fuck, I shouldn't have gone swimming.
Like,
Like,
oh, this is awful.
Can't you swim through them like Pinocchio or something like that?
I mean, I'm
Seriously, ain't
sure
they
that
big?
it's. I bet you could kind of swim, but I don't think you're going to find any air anytime soon.
Well, no, you'd have
Yeah.
to have the scuba
If you had a
mask or
scuba tank
something.
and you could just start punching, maybe you could get out.
Journey. See, there's the thing. They're too protective, these animals now, so we'll never be able to see the movie Journey inside the whale and
Yeah.
find out what it's really like.
I guess this is a movie. Yeah. This was like shallow water, but you're just in a stomach the whole time trying to punch out. So you said you started playing the piano or trying to play the piano recently?
I mean, literally today. Like,
Have you found middle C yet?
no,
Because
I
I've
don't
been
even,
looking for it.
I don't
Yeah.
even know that shit. I mean, I know music. Like, I know how music works, but
You said you played saxophone in high school, right?
yeah. So I think I can still like remember how to read music, and I know scales. I gotta learn chords and all that shit. I got the headphones today that I can plug into the keyboard so that I can actually hear it.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I just fucked it. It's also one of those keyboards that like, so my girlfriend's brother buys and sells vintage and expensive music equipment, like mainly like really nice guitars, like $10,000, $20,000 guitars.
Wow.
But he just had this beautiful, I guess it's like a keyboard synthesizer. You know, it's like the kind of thing I can make beats on it and then also like play like trumpets and sound effects and
yeah.
You can sample.
I can do anything with it, and I can plug it into a computer and do twice as many things. But it's got tracks and all that stuff. I don't need that much. I literally needed something that played piano noise.
Does it record? Does it have like a built-in mic
Yes,
and stuff?
it does everything.
So you can do my favorite thing to do with like a sampling pad where you just record yourself going, duh, duh, dee,
Yeah.
dee, duh, duh, and you're just playing your own voice.
You can do all that.
I love that shit.
It's fucking awesome. But I don't know how to do any of it yet. Today I was playing with like the percussion pads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Remember them Casio keyboards that you would get, and they would have like those preset tunes
Yeah.
on it, like
Yeah.
tango and stuff.
I remember one time.
Bossa Nova.
Yeah, Bossa Nova was the main one, and I remember one time one of mine's batteries were dying, and it just started playing it out of nowhere, like in the middle of the night. And I think I shit the bed. I think I shit multiple beds in the house that night.
There's a ghost in the house that doesn't know how to play the piano.
It's like the ghost of Wesley Willis has gotten into your house.
It's terrifying.
Oh God! You just hear from suck a horse's dick with hoisin sauce from down the hallway. That would be terrifying.
Yeah,
On Friday the 13th, you listen closely and you might hear a voice in the distance say, "Rock over London, rock on Chicago."
Record surplus. The
That
last
was-
record store.
That was such a weird time in the internet when you would just you'd go on, what was it, Napster?
Napster, Morpheus.
Yeah, and you
LimeWire,
download
Kazaa.
Yeah, and you download, and then what was the big music player? Winamp.
Winamp.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that shit.
Oh,
I had
Lord.
tons of Rolling Stones bootlegs from WinMX. Remember that one?
I had like 20,000 songs or something like that. I would just download entire discographies.
Yeah, and half of them were mislabeled, you know. So
Right, yeah.
The House of the Rising Sun
Yeah.
by the
Pass
Rolling
it-
Stones.
Yeah. Pass the Dutchie by Bob Marley.
Yeah, it's so much reggae. I went through a heavy reggae phase in my college years.
Well, you can do all that stuff with the keyboard. You can-
That's what I was doing. I was
You
doing
trying
like
to figure out One Love?
bim, 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 bim. I think reggae must be the easiest music to play.
I think on keyboard in particular.
Yeah, well, with
it's
keyboard,
particularly
yeah,
suited.
for sure.
Because you don't have to do that kind of upstroke rhythm
right
like on
with
a guitar.
With
Yeah.
guitar, it's a little hard because you have
It's
to
a
kind of learn
skanky kind of rhythm.
the strumming patterns. But as far as just like playing it on like a keyboard and stuff, yeah, you can.
I want to get to like Ethiopics level, you know, like
Yeah.
that Ethiopian jazz. Like
Uh-huh.
that's where I want to. That's my goal. But I'm just like amazed. It's funny because like I watched a bunch of videos to see what my thing could do, and there's this guy, and he looks like He looks like a fucking creep. He's got like a silver ponytail.
Of course.
And he gets on there and he just sits down. He's like, well, here we have the Roland, whatever, G1, yada, yada, yada. And I'll just show you some of the things it can do today. And he just starts fucking doing the most amazing things just playing multiple different genres. He's going from classical to jazz to like club music. He's playing bossa nova, samba, and then he's like playing like indigenous instruments. And I'm like, that guy's amazing, yet also one of the biggest losers in the world. Guaranteed, like, has the emptiest life.
Oh, that's a real musician, though.
Well, let's think about it. There was Rain Man who was a moron, but he could do one thing, which was count cards when they was gambling. And you figure how many people are really talented at music, but Eddie Van Halen, for example, as a human being, we're not talking about a mental giant.
Right. Right, yeah, you can barely talk.
The rock world in particular is full of musicians who may be able to play instruments good, but probably couldn't wipe their ass without a program.
Well, that's why there's so many bands where like the drummer is the most fuckable person in the band because everybody else is like an insane person. Like, no, we have to learn the sweeps today, and then the drummer's just like, yeah, whatever, man.
I mean, if you've ever listened to an interview with any of the members of Rush, you just sit there and it's like, how do these guys even get through their everyday lives?
Oh man, yeah. Like when Geddy Lee's the most fuckable person in your band, you've got problems.
The only thing I think that keeps Rush afloat is them Canadians because they get a lot of tax money off Rush.
Government support.
I thought it was that Ayn Rand like sort of people like the Cato Institute is funding them. It's just like make Ayn Rand accessible to the young people.
Do you think Alan Greenspan is somehow behind all of this?
Yeah, totally. He actually wrote Tom Sawyer.
Yeah,
I thought it was Mark Twain.
I feel like that like kind of translates to everything because it's like in Hollywood we meet all these people that are like amazing actors and then you like try to talk to them and they're like the dumbest people that you've ever spoke with. There literally was an actor on a show that I worked on and she had poop on her pants. Like I remember she had like shit on her pants and I was like, how are you? And she just was gorgeous and could say words, and because that has a way better quality of life than I do.
That could be wardrobe's fault, the poop.
Yeah, that's true. No, it was when she showed up to set.
Oh, okay.
Man. And this is like a girl that's like beautiful. Like the only time you've ever seen her, you'd be like, oh, that's one of the hottest people I've ever seen.
Except for the shit stain.
And then you see her out in the light and you're like, what the fuck is that? But that's the same thing where they have like, we only know that they can do one thing and it's lauded. And then you like look at their personal life and it's just like they live in feces and cereal dust,
Or maybe it's the directors that are the talented ones. And I had no idea there was so many shit at shoots. Like a TV shoot.
I don't think that's a regular thing. I think that Andy Haynes is just using this as a...
Okay.
I think there's a couple shit stories out there.
Because I was going to say the actors shit their pants.
I actually do think a lot of actors shit their pants because a lot of them are drug addicts, A. Yeah. So that includes a lot of pants shitting. And then B... a lot of them are on these weird, crazy diets. So
that's a good point.
Yeah. So I bet there's a lot more shitting involved than we care to think.
Expose.
Yeah, well, they had a fantastic article. I think there was a run of them in different like sports publications, but there was like a trend where they were running articles about athletes pooping their pants in the middle of competition.
Well, that happens when you're an athlete.
Yeah, and then there's some of the
your pants in the middle of a Days of Our Lives taping.
Yeah, that's true.
Deal.
That's true. There is an amazing story about Andre the Giant pooping his pants in the middle of a match that was just like, imagine that being the biggest pants pooping.
Not televised?
Ask Bad News Brown.
I don't know if it was televised, but he was
in Mexico, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was facing Bad News Brown, and he was doing that thing like...
What an apropos opponent.
And he was like...
he's facing his own personal Bad News Brown.
And he was doing that thing where he had Bad News in the corner, and he was like ramming his butt into him.
I bet he did have Bad News in the corner.
Now you know what they call him? Bad News Brown.
Yeah, in the middle of it, he just like lost control and just like... Yeah, I think that's a regular thing. Like in the middle of WrestleMania 13, Psycho Sid pooped his pants in like the first 2 minutes of his match with The Undertaker, and they had to do like a 15-minute match.
So that match was the shits.
Yeah, Undertaker had to work his way around Sid pooping his pants. Like they had to like change the spots up because.
But how do they contain the shit?
Yeah, I mean they are little trunks,
I would feel like Brown would just be like, there'd be like paints,
That is a good.
It would be like a Brown Pollock painting.
The guy holding up the sign in the front row just
yeah,
splats across the
exactly.
sign.
Jesus.
With all the body slams and whatnot.
Are some of these stories apocryphal, though? Because any wrestling story that begins with "it happened in Mexico" is usually not entirely true.
I love the events that happened in Mexico. Like, we're gonna get some stories like that eventually out of these Mexico City exhibition NFL games.
Oh yeah,
Maybe people are shitting their pants. Well, it's an athlete thing, apparently.
Or like, you know, so and so went into town that night, left the the athlete chaperones, and fucking kicked a mule so hard that got like hopped up on coke and beat up a donkey. I don't know, some shit. Fucking,
I fought 3 men and a parrot.
yeah.
I mean, with me, the gold standard when it comes to athlete, like being ridiculous stories, was the Benny Blade story where he got into a fight outside of a strip club, and then like him and Lomas Brown and a couple other people were at this strip club, I think in Seattle, and they got into a fight, an argument with some people, and Benny Blades just like went into his trunk of his car and pulled out a bazooka and like
I love that.
yeah, and just was like
Maybe there was an oncoming tank that nobody
it's so funny because Lomas Brown tells the story, and Lomas Brown is like an Ivy League educated football player, so he went to Columbia, so he's just like not used to this sort of thing. And Benny Blades went to like,
really?
Well, that's what he gets
The
for joining
univers-
the NFL.
I don't think most people are used to a guy coming out with a bazooka.
and Benny,
Well, it depends,
Probably
veterans.
hopped up on coke because
A
he did
gun,
go to
sure, a bazooka.
Yeah, but
I
see, that's
love that.
if y'all go to Columbia, why would you go to the NFL? I have no sympathy for people like that guy from Harvard that's in the NBA. Man, you took a spot from somebody that's probably dirt poor and could have worked your way into sports.
Jeremy Lin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody that has an Ivy League degree can get a job. They don't have to get into professional sports or become movie stars or anything like that. And sports in particular has always been something for poor people to work their way up. So they take spots from poor people, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I feel like almost all the quarterbacks too are like probably have like some solid major. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure Tom Brady's from like Cupertino or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like he was bred for it. He may be a little more like Metro in style, but I think he's pretty much an athlete. I'm talking about the guys that go to a school, not a football farm, and have a degree that they can definitely get a job.
Oh yeah,
with.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So wait, what happened with the bazooka?
No, the guy just. I
I think that's where most fights end.
It's hard to get ammunition for
I don't
him
think
these
anybody's
days.
like, I raise you like another guy pulled up in an army tank.
The guy's got a Harrier.
The other guy, yeah, just a hair.
Floats up in
Yeah,
his chest.
you're gonna talk to the.
It's like True Lies. You're like,
Yeah.
You're gonna talk to the coked out guy and be like, "I bet that thing's not loaded." Yeah.
fucking shoot, bro. I'm not scared.
I mean, I had that on a miniature scale when I worked at the softball complex concession stand back home because softball. I think I've mentioned this, but what the hell? It's episode 100. If you're this far into it with us, you can hear the same story again. Softball is only young girls, and then like college age girls, and then old men.
Yeah.
So it's
like Sid, who shit himself earlier.
is he a softball? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he was always playing softball. He tried to schedule his wrestling, his title changes around softball.
But yeah, I was working in the concession stand of the Auburn softball complex, and some drunk guy who'd been playing with his friends lost. Went up to his. Had been screaming that he was going to get his gun. Went and got his gun. By the time he came back down, the cops were there and they tackled him right in front of the concession stand. So
I love it.
Yeah, he had a rifle. He was walking in with his fucking deer rifle.
He was gonna shoot somebody.
He was going to shoot somebody because he was shit faced and they lost the game under. I guess he thought it was unfair.
He's a hardcore fan.
No, he wasn't a fan. He was playing in the game.
When he's playing in the game.
Yeah, it was like just like a beer league softball thing. And
That's just bad
it was just bullshit. Yeah,
folks.
yeah, of course.
I remember guys in high school with guns, but they were all like gangsters. Nobody was like a psycho. I went to like a school where it settled down because like gang stuff in the 80s just trickled up the West Coast. So by the 90s, we had full Crips and Bloods and drive-bys and all
really?
that shit.
In Seattle?
Yeah, I went to like in 6th grade. I went to like 3 funerals at my school.
Oh fuck. Jesus.
For people like that. But it was very, what you would think of 90s like urban gangs, people in Dickie suits and shit like that.
Yeah.
And but I remember those dudes were never like that. That was never the crazy people.
And no one had a bazooka either. Yeah.
Well, this one time, this was a funny thing that happened was during the 90s, because Seattle's so liberal, I don't know if it was a Washington State thing, but whatever happened was during the East African wars and famines and all that stuff, we got a lot of East Africans, so a lot of Somalians, Eritreans, Ethiopians, those kind of refugees, and I remember that the black kids would pick on the African kids because they were just different, and I don't know, they got picked on. And I remember they fucked with a Somalian guy, and the Somalian guys had like linked up. They were like, we're like together on this.
Right.
And they already had their own little gangs and stuff. And they came to the fight with like the like Predator gun. They were like, we've been in, we just, yeah.
So they could like see in the dark and things.
No, like the fucking one that like, like that has the fucking chain feed, like
he had a belt-fed machine gun?
I don't know the exact story because we didn't see this. Like I said, like those fights happened other places. But I remember that some gangsters were like, we're going to fuck you up. And the Somalian kids were like, I would like to see that. We just came from a civil war. You are not going to scare us.
Infantry weapons.
They were not fucking around. And I remember that was the story, was that they came with like a fucking submachine gun.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, okay, we have like a Glock, so we're not,
Okay, that's on a different scale over there.
They're like, we're used to like shooting each other, but not.
We didn't bring our air support for this fight. So.
Exactly. We don't have like, what are those things called that you set up in Call of Duty where it's like faces somebody and it goes off?
Oh, a claymore?
Yeah. Like claymores.
Helicopter, let your long rope down. Let us sway into the sunset. I have done all I can do in this town.
Any of you guys ex-service?
I was in Civil War reenactments, so I consider that kind of the same thing. I've been trying to get a pension from the government from getting heat stroke at the Gettysburg battle.
From Fredericksburg.
I was so bad they would have me play Ambrose Burnside one year just so everything would screw up the wrong way.
I'm surprised in those Civil War reenactments, did they ever have the South win?
Yeah, if it's the battle. If I was on the north side, they would have
Fredericksburg.
If I was on the south side, the north was win.
But did they ever change history as like kind of a masturbatory way?
Well, if I was there, it would happen. And if something went wrong, it would happen. Because I'd seen something go wrong and the Union win Fredericksburg and the two Union generals arguing about it. Who fucked up? So it can happen.
Did people ever get hurt in those?
People can get hurt, but
like accidentally batoned or
stuff like that can happen. But stuff like that doesn't happen as much. Most of the casualties are mostly just like heat related,
twisted ankles,
because people,
are
just
wearing wool suits in the summer,
and because it's like, and I'm not making fun of people. It's just true. People do it on the hobby, so they're not in shape and they're running around doing stuff that young men were doing during the Civil War in 100-degree weather wearing wool.
Yeah.
So there's always a lot of heat.
That's a nightmare.
It was all right. I don't consider myself a hero, but I was there on some of the greatest battlefields of this country. So you're welcome, everybody.
But they won second Fredericksburg, right?
Yeah, Chancellorsville.
Chancellorsville, that's what I'm thinking.
That was decisive. And the Wilderness is right outside Fredericksburg, too. So that's all kind of like
that's
the same
Virginia?
Thing. Yeah. This is all.
I've played gigs in Fredericksburg.
Yeah, really? It's that little thing right, halfway between like Washington D.C. and Richmond. There's Fredericksburg on the Rappahannock.
That's where most of those battlefields are, right? In between D.C. and Richmond, pretty much.
Well, in the Virginia theater.
They get all the way up into Penn. Penn has a lot. Maryland has a lot. That whole tri-state area. Or what do you call it? DMV.
That was when Lee went north, but there's also stuff around the Shenandoah because that was their supply line, and stuff around Richmond, like the Peninsula Campaign and stuff like that.
Are there any Civil War battlefields in Ohio? Did they make it over there?
Didn't there? I don't think there was any big ones, but was it more Confederate John Morgan or something raid into Ohio with maybe some Kentucky troops or something?
That sounds
makes
plausible.
sense.
I think there was
Ohio was Union, right?
Yeah, definitely, most definitely, many. I mean, Grant was from Ohio, Sherman was from Ohio.
There was like kind of the stalwart.
Ohio, Indiana, those Midwestern states like that, stalwart for the Union.
Yeah.
That's where all the original Republicans came from, anyway.
Which is why it's fucked up when you go to Indiana, and like if you're in like southern Indiana, like
I know, and now they're all from the South.
Yeah, you go to like southern Indiana, Seymour Mellencamp country, and you go to a truck stop and there's shirts that say Indiana, real real Dixie pride. And you're like, yeah, you guys totally fought for the Union.
Well, that's like
Yeah.
the KKK's
left Alabama and went to Indiana. Yeah.
started. Like their
went to
headquarters is
Illinois.
right outside of Bloomington, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
they controlled the state of Indiana in the 20s until there was a rape scandal that brought them down.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they were
Wow.
based in Peoria a lot too.
Yeah, they were huge. The Klan was big. I think there was even Klan out here.
There
or
was-
something.
Oh, there was.
In
Did you watch
Oregon.
that movie? I think it's called Bloods and Crips.
Uh,
It's a documentary. It's all about how like Dust Bowl happened, Great Depression, and the fucking Klan just came to L.A. and they became cops. They all became cops.
The Klan was, there was the historical Klan, which was during the era of Reconstruction.
Yeah.
And then around 1910, like Birth of a Nation, it started again. And in the teens and the 20s, it spread everywhere because people were pissed off about like immigrants and by that point, communists. And it was even things like pro-prohibition. And
Yeah.
stuff like that. So the Klan fits into, I feel, that long American tradition of vigilantism.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
when the Klan became big in the 20s, I mean, it's a franchise for any kind of like, extra political control you want. You know what I mean?
yeah.
that's
Well, they were in
insane.
Oregon too, in Portland.
There was,
especially.
there was all over.
Well, they got all those
right?
skinheads now that get their asses kicked by anti-skinheads. Do you know about that? Like, there's like the
The
skinheads.
sharps, yeah.
Yeah, the skinheads that are against skinheads.
Weren't they actually the original
They were the original
skinheads
ones
before the
'cause
other
the original ones were in Britain. The skinheads were the guys. They were really into reggae and stuff like that because they were like dock workers that would work with like all the guys from like
Jamaica,
Trinidad,
yeah.
Jamaica, and stuff like that. And during the 1970s, groups like the National Front actively like started taking on the skinhead, recruiting skinheads and stuff like that, and taking it on as some sort of British national pride, and taking the aesthetic of it. So there were the those skinheads, and then there were the sharps, who were the skinheads against racial prejudice, and they were
Wow.
like, they would go in and proceed to kicking some ass on some,
But unfortunately, the bad kind is the more famous one.
I
Yeah.
mean, because it's the ones that do crimes.
Well, I remember seeing somebody one time with like they were like a skinheads against, racial prejudice thing. And I was like, I think you got to ditch the skinhead part.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
they won the aesthetic.
Well, the thing was, it was originally like I was saying, it was like a youth fashion, like a reggae kind of
and
thing.
it's kind of back actually, like in like like a lot of those Abercrombie and Fitch ads, or not Urban Outfitters ads now, like are like capitalizing on that, like Falkland Islands era war in England
Yeah.
where they were very nationalistic, like lots of guys in like Fred Perry polos and things
and
like that.
braces and stuff like that.
But now it's like it's your
listening to Clapton.
Yeah, remember that Rock Against Racism?
Yeah, which was in direct response to Eric Clapton being a dickhead on the news.
I think it was Rolling Stone said something like, "Who shot the sheriff?" It sure wasn't you, Eric.
The
was he racist?
Oh yeah,
He
which is
got
funny.
drunk
'cause-
and said some stuff.
yeah, to a reporter, which is really when I get drunk, that's the first place I want to go, to a
So
reporter.
the checkerboard ska motif that actually came from like the sharps.
Oh,
as
really?
kind of a symbol of white and black unity. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And now it's been ruined by teenage girls and want to make dresses out of it.
There's a really good movie about that era called This Is England.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You know a lot about England. Have you spent a lot of time there and things?
I have a weird knowledge of like international kind of cultural political facts.
Okay.
I'm a big soccer fan, and that's kind of how.
Oh,
it
what's
happened.
your squad?
Arsenal?
Oh.
What are you? Don't say
like
Tottenham.
Spur.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
The Longhorns
I also-
don't have
I
a
also-
team in this, right?
Just
like
so you guys
Everton,
know,
too.
that's like that's Auburn, Alabama.
Is it really? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. He just said, what did you
I
just?
said the Longhorns don't have a team in this
No.
league, right?
No.
Not in that league. I'm sure the Longhorns do. in the
Although
soccer
Arsenal
team.
is owned by the same people that own the Rams.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no
Yeah.
shit.
Does
St.
who own,
Kroenke.
I don't think Tottenham's owned by an American.
No, they're not.
I think they're owned by
not.
like a Thai dictator or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It's true. There's so much money in that league because all these like
I think they might be owned by Malaysians. I'm not quite
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Every English soccer team got bought by an evil
Russian. Yeah.
It was like a Russian, a Thai person, a Saudi Arabian, and they just pour
So
their
the
blood
FIFA
money.
meetings are like the Legion of Doom.
Yeah,
Literally.
Well, that's why the referees are also.
Yeah, it's like
They meet in a swamp, like the headquarters
it's the
Oh,
of
composite-
FIFA rises out of the
We
swamp.
don't even know what the kind of excess and palatial setting.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like a castle on a cloud.
Yeah,
is how rich these people
Well,
are.
it's just now
and
starting
the
to
most
get out,
evil
too.
one is the guy that owns Liverpool because that's the guy that owns the Boston Red Sox, and
Yeah.
that's like just levels of evil, different.
Did you guys?
Wait a
any of you
minute,
guys
the
watch-
Yankees don't own Liverpool.
No, John
Actually, the
Henry
Yankees
does.
don't own the Red Sox
John Henry
anymore.
does. Yeah.
Do you guys know?
Wait, John Henry.
He was
Not
you
the
know,
good John
He
Henry.
was a hero when he ripped he beat up trains and things and died.
Yeah, he dug through a
That's-
mountain,
That
died.
was the
trying
wrong John Henry.
Oh,
that was
okay.
heroic
No,
black
I mean,
John Henry.
Oh, bummer.
I don't have as much like I don't really get into the Arsenal.
I don't care about the rivalries
'cause I
really.
didn't like grow up, so I'm
I
not
don't
into the
like
derby.
Manchester United.
I don't like Man U,
And
I
I
don't
think
like
it's-
Man City.
I
very
thought it was
much
an
either.
airline.
Although I do like Bakari Sagnas hair. That's
Yeah, he's former Arsenal, so we can
Yeah.
we can accept that. But no, I just love soccer, and I'm so bummed because I fucking planned a trip to Europe, and I had it lined up so that I was going to the Arsenal Liverpool opening game.
Oh, really?
And I bought like plane tickets for every 3 days, so it's like very like regimented schedule. I'm
Yeah.
doing stand up in different places, and they fucking switched the game by 1 day, so I don't get to go.
That stinks.
Oh,
And that
so
would be
pissed about it.
that would be.
I'd have to miss a stand up show in
Arsenal, yeah.
You
Stockholm.
might miss a riot if you don't go to the game.
I know.
Yeah.
Or do they not have those anymore?
No, you show up for
They
a
still
riot.
have
Was that like
the
a
Russians?
90s
The
thing?
Russians have the Russian ultras is what they're called. Have
The
riots. still.
Russians would be behind.
Well, the
shit like
the
that.
Russians at the
The Russians
Euro.
just got excavated from Euro. They got
They got kicked out finally.
they got banned from multiple nations.
They should
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
I think.
Well, because all their hooligans.
That's like imagine like a Dodgers diehard asshole being banned from like California.
yeah, the
Like,
Russians seem like they're a Somalian
Russians-
gang. They've
no, the
taken this to a
Russians-
whole new level.
See, the Russians did hooliganism completely different because usually when you think of hooliganism, because they went up against the British hooligans, the British hooligans were like, okay, I'm beefy, I'm strong, I work a working class job, I get drunk, I get the liquid courage, I can't feel pain because I'm so drunk, I'll fight. The Russians went through military tactical training to like do proper like hooliganism. You know, they
Russia
were,
is
like,
such a different level of fucked up.
Russia is the bane of Earth
yeah,
civilizations.
it's what Florida aspires to be. Is Russia?
That's pretty
certain
badass,
level,
man. Beat up a guy's car. All right.
That is kind of an insult to Florida.
Like they all
though,
like they would have these gangs and they would all like start doing like ultimate fighting training like 2 years in advance.
Yeah, it's like if you
So they
set the
all-
third world in winter Pittsburgh. That's
Yeah.
like
they're dangerous.
I
Russians.
work on a lot of clip shows, and we just get fucking fed the Russian dash cams.
Oh, those
Oh,
are
yeah,
the greatest
yeah.
and
things
it's
ever.
the most insane shit that you'll ever see. It's like
Yeah.
a guy honks at a guy, the guy turns around, pulls out a machine gun, like literally like just the darkest shit,
Oh, and my favorite is this. They still have all the trappings of like the 19th century in a lot of those clips where it's like a woman with a wooden cart being pulled by a donkey through modern traffic jams.
Russian
You're like,
history. Russia has always been at least 400 to 500 years behind the rest of the world.
But I feel like
Yeah.
what I've
That's
never
why,
understood.
that's why people thought Marx was off because it was just like, well, communism got big in this place that's like so
that's backwards. Yeah, when it was supposed to happen in England.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I wasn't Marx German though.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying, but it
Yeah,
took
but he was
off.
expecting it to
his
happen in
prediction,
England
yeah.
because England was the most advanced industrial country by far.
and
at
it
the
made
time he
more
wrote.
sense there.
Yeah.
But the weird thing I've never understood about Russia is that Russia has the Hermitage. It has the greatest ballet on earth. It's got some of the greatest literature, like
That's
Chekhov
to
and all
stop
that
the
shit.
rest of us from just wiping the damn Russians out.
It doesn't make any sense. They Eisenstein, like
Yeah.
every-
I know
the
they do have
greatest.
smart people come from there, but yet they're just so awful.
They're great at chess, but then like they're also great at like beating up a woman with a 2x4. It's so weird.
But they do have like in the past have had culture and things like that. So it's really like, is it the weather?
But it's like Florida, it's just like there's a lot of exceptionally talented people from Florida, like really smart people.
I think it's I think Russia you can look at, and it's not completely like this because there's definitely like
'Cause it's a reaction,
I
like-
meet people all the time from Russia that are like designers and
Yeah.
gay house musicians and shit like that, and they're like, yeah, Russia sucks or
but
whatever.
yeah, I was gonna say, notice they're not in Russia.
Yeah, no,
nobody
they aren't.
wants to be in
nobody
it.
wants to be gay in Russia at all.
That's my favorite thing about West Hollywood is that it's the gay neighborhood and the Russian
I
neighborhood.
had a joke about that for a long
like-
time about how it's like 85% gay and then 15% the saddest, angriest Russian people.
Right.
And I felt like it was the city of Los Angeles being like, this gay thing's getting a little out of hand.
Trying to
Send in the old Russian
tamp
people
it down a little bit.
to dampen some of their joy.
What are they, the gay GB or something?
All right.
But I mean, like Dostoevsky was like a reaction to how crappy Russia was.
Yeah, I think
And he
Russia
was
is a
right.
failed state. You know, I think it's like you have really brilliant people, but like there's a deep seated. And it's America's not perfect.
But it's
I will
better
say
than
this:
Russia.
America is way better than I've been a lot of places in the world, and I can't really like the Scandinavian countries. Kind of do a little bit better. Canada does things better, but they still like nobody can like nail a barbecue and socialized healthcare. That's the problem. Like
That is a I think we should do it here.
yeah, I mean, I have it. I have Obamacare.
I was gonna say, yeah, I can do barbecue, and I've got Obamacare, so it's working just personally.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Maybe we're getting
kick-ass
there.
nation. I mean, I think that the problem is I tried to write a joke like this for the longest time about like how with America, like everybody that celebrates what's American, they're like, I can light a firework with my lawnmower. And you're like, no, the fact that we fucking nailed all this other shit, you know, like
Right.
we designed the medicine that makes cancer go away or something, you know, like
Yeah.
nobody's ever proud of that part of America, that we like integrated racist public schools.
Yeah.
Well, nobody, it's not like Russia where we have to take pride in real accomplishments because no one wants to live there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think barbecue might be the maybe that'll civilize the Russians. Teach them how to barbecue or something, and then maybe they won't be writing all kinds of depressing shit and things.
It's pretty close because I went to Croatia and had some awesome barbecue.
I heard Croatia's awesome.
It's a great place. When I went there, it was just like dreary. It's just like if you ever watch that 30 for 30 where Vlade Divac
Love that.
goes there.
That's one of the best
It's
30
like
for
that's where he
30s.
was. It's
Yeah.
just like still. But when you go there, like everybody there was like super friendly.
Yeah.
And they all loved American culture. Like
Yeah.
I went into a record store. I was flipping through, and they had just this amazing music because that's the music that came. Like Boston wasn't making its way across the Iron Curtain, but like Gang of Four was. So it's just like awesome. That's
Love
great.
Gang of
Wait,
Four.
what time? What's Gang of Four?
They're
Those guys from
post-punk.
China?
yeah. Oh no, not they were named after them. but
Oh,
yeah.
that's the worst is when people don't go through the early and they get the late. I always worry. It's like when people get rap, but they haven't got rock yet. It's like you didn't get the evolution of
yeah,
this
but
whole
they got all that
culture.
because I mean, in those countries, like their music for freedom was like Frank Zappa. Like just they're weird in that
Or
sort of
like
way.
the Police.
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought they
Weird.
liked the Beatles a lot behind
But
the
when I
Iron
was
Curtain.
flipping-
Russia loved the Beatles.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a big thing in like the 60s?
Oh,
Back
yeah.
in the USSR
Yeah.
was like
I have
like bootleg Beatles records
Oh,
in
yeah.
England. That was
But
gigantic.
they
I have a buddy who grew up. He's like the biggest Beatles fan in the world. He grew up. I think his mom was Scottish, but he grew up like in Ukraine. And his name is Vlade, and he's got this like perfect hybrid like Russian Scottish accent. And if you
that's
get him
fucking
drunk, he'll
beautiful.
start talking about the Beatles. And
Yeah.
because like him getting a Beatles tape when he was a kid was like this crazy
Yeah.
contraband that you just couldn't have. And
I love that.
Yeah, but the because it was weird because the state owned
Too bad mine was the Bangles.
Susanna Hoffs helped me break through tyranny.
Yeah, hazy shade of winter over there in Moscow.
I never listened to the record, but the cover was really good.
But so like because the state owned like the imprinting companies, but they didn't like care too much about censorship, so they
Yeah.
were just like But I was like flipping through records, and this guy walks up to me, and he's like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm from Los Angeles." He's like, "I've always wanted to go there. Do you know Axl Rose?" And I'm like, "What?" Like he had this
Yeah.
idea of America,
Yeah.
and like LA being this place like hermetically sealed in time, where it's just like Axl Rose.
So
is-
funny. Like
You should have said
Yeah.
yes, though. You should have been
Yeah,
like,
no, he would've, yeah.
I'd do that motherfucker's cornrows. Yeah.
I was going to say, he hangs out at
do his
campers.
extensions.
We have the same plastic surgeon, but
You should have just said, does anybody really know Axel?
but no, I went to a barbecue there, and it was like some of the best barbecue I ever had.
Okay.
Just like everybody
Croatian
was,
barbecue.
they were like all drunk and like dancing to this like amazingly bad like cover band that was just covering like
Well, what if the U.S. had Croatia?
for a sharp dressed
yeah they were singing stuff like that, but it was like a couple, and then they like were roasting a pig, and it was just amazing.
So do you think we should get the Croatians to take over Russia, and that might
Perhaps.
civilize
The other
them?
thing that I loved about Croatia was there was a guy that we were rolling with who they were like the family were hot air balloon pilots, and they would always go to.
Some people do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
but
they-
like, of course,
Some people do
Yeah,
that.
they
of
do
course, it's the weirdest job ever.
Yeah,
in
so
that
they
country.
would, but they would go to Albuquerque all the time. So the guy that was the son was like really Americanized. So when you talk to him, he had a very strong American accent, and he was really into American pop culture. He was like, I really love The Wire and all this sort of stuff. And he was just like, we were talking about stand up comedy. He's like, yeah, we have open mics in Croatia,
Oh,
and I'm
Jesus.
just like. Really? He's like, yeah, it's great. It's a bunch of Croatian dudes that get really drunk and just do Dane Cook bits verbatim.
Well, because there
I
is
would
this like weird
fucking
world.
kill.
Yeah.
to
There's like
see
a
some
world
guy.
explosion of stand up right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like there's like I was in Brazil for the World Cup, and I found out that there's like huge, like there's national level stand ups that are doing like good stand up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And like I just got like Netflix sent me like like an alert on my phone, like you got to check out this new stand-up special by this Mexican lady. And so I look at it, and then I follow her on Twitter, and then I realize that there's like huge stand-up going on in Mexico City. It's pretty cool. I wish I could speak more languages. I can't.
Yeah, I would.
I know we could all
totally-
make big money else. Remember I had that episode about going to India?
Yeah, we had Tushar did the show.
Oh,
He
yeah.
talked about like the stand up scene in India.
But at least they speak English.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you do. But the way he described it is basically, it reminded me of like kind of how some Latino comedians operate, where you do the setup in English, and then you do the punchline in English, and then you do this elaborate act out in
really?
in Hindi. Yeah. So like in it, and I realized like we were talking about it, like that's interesting, and it's like, well, that's also Ricky Ricardo's bit. Like he would be saying stuff in English until he got to a point where he was too furious, and then he would start yelling at Lucy in Spanish, and that was like always the funniest part of the show.
Well, she had some splaining to do. Usually.
yeah.
Yeah.
What verb is splaining in Espanol? ¿Cómo se dice splaining?
What is it? I don't speak it.
Explica.
Explica.
So I guess it would just be Splika.
No, explicar is the verb. So
Oh.
tienes explicando para hacer. I think something like that.
I don't know. I just know you have some.
I don't know why I'm trying to ask Spanish questions to three rednecks.
How did you?
I speak fluent Greek, ancient Greek, but I don't really have anybody to
That'd be
talk
so
to.
great.
Yeah.
how was the World Cup?
It was amazing. I had
Yeah.
such a good. It was right before I quit smoking pot, so I had like a real. I bought fucking weed off 12-year-olds in the favelas and just traveled around where everybody had a machine gun pointed at you, and just it was the most beautiful, sexy, amazing. The music is so vibrant.
Oh, yeah.
It's also what I really like about it. It's like the first place I've been in. I've been to a lot of Latin America. I've been every country between Colombia and the U.S., and then I've been to Brazil. I haven't been anywhere else. I've been to Cuba, but it was the first country where they didn't give a shit that I was American. It's kind of annoying. You go to a lot of countries and they're like, "Oh, you're American? Like, fuck, I want to talk to you and like also hustle you." But like,
Yeah.
but in Brazil, they were just like, "Oh, cool. Like, we have our own identity, our own music, our own movies, our own,
Yeah.
like we don't give a shit."
Yeah,
We're
they're
not
like, who cares? Have a Zima.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was Zimas all day. No, I actually drank a lot of non-alcoholic beer in Brazil because I'm an alcoholic. I don't drink beer, but I did.
But when
still
I
smoke
do,
pot.
and I'm in
but when
Brazil.
I do in Brazil, I drink something like I don't even remember that, like Gold Libre.
Yeah. O'Doul's. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was the Brazilian pot?
It was fucking intense because I brought like a bunch of edibles. I brought like a fucking. I bought a bag of Jolly Ranchers, right? Like the size that comes in the the Werther's bags level of Jolly Ranchers. And then I went to the pot store and I bought a bunch of Jolly Ranchers from the pot store, and then I rewrapped them in the Jolly Rancher wrappers. And then I just had that in my bag. And so I had about 4 or 5 days worth of edibles. But at this point in my career, I was smoking pot morning to night the whole time. So I ran out in like 2 days. So I bought pot in Rio on the beach, and it was like these 3 barefoot kids ranging from age 10 to 20, and they were rolling a joint and smoking it. And I was just like, well, I'm not going to nobody else is just doing weed in front of me, so I'm going to go up to them. I asked them if I could buy some pot off them, and they all looked at each other in this way that was like, first, like, is this guy a cop? No, he's not a cop because he can't speak Portuguese.
Right.
And then, should we rob him was the second thought. And then they just were like, no, we'll rip him off. And so they just asked for $50 and they gave me like pretty good amount of pot.
Yeah.
I went back up and smoked it, and I was fucking loaded. And it was a kind of intense night because it was the night that Brazil lost 7-1 to Germany.
Yeah.
And I
shit.
look like a German.
Oh,
So I was a little scared. But then, it was funny in Brazil. Every night I would go
shit. Put
out.
on an Uncle Sam outfit and go out.
No, I had a Brazil jersey and Brazil shorts on.
I was going to say
Yeah,
hide behind the jersey.
I wore a Brazil kit that whole day because I was worried about
Come
that.
out with the flag like Hacksaw Jim Duggan and shit.
Yeah. I had a snake and a toucan, and I was juggling acai bowls. But every night in Brazil, no matter where I was, I would go to somebody. I'd be like, hey, can you tell me like a good restaurant in this neighborhood? They go, oh, let me show you. It's down the street. And then we'd get there and they'd go, you know what? I'm hungry too. I'll eat with you. And then they'd go, do you want to come to my house? We're having like a party. And then they'd be like, hey, my friend has a nightclub. Let's go to his club. And it was like every night, like I would just start with me being like, hey, and then they would just take me I would have friends and guides for like 3 or 4 days. It was wonderful.
So you're going to be doing stand up in Stockholm coming up?
Yeah, it's not like a big theater show or anything.
Right.
It's just a bar
I was just
show.
wondering if you've performed abroad like that before. And
I've only performed in Canada and the UK. I don't think I performed on a cruise ship in the Caribbean.
Oh, okay. That counts.
But that was
Which was probably flagged in
That was
Norway,
get this
so, yeah.
the 311 cruise.
What?
Yes.
What? Oh no!
Oh shit!
Sorry, guys.
Oh no, we have to talk about this.
was
What-
this the
But,
time of day it took off?
No.
Yeah.
No,
No,
this is,
311. We had to keep it.
you had to kill him original.
Yeah, we had to come original for the whole cruise. Those guys were the nicest dudes in the world. I never was that wasn't my music taste
Yeah, of
when
course.
they were at their height, and it still isn't. But they were like the sweetest dudes, and I met really great people, and the comedy shows were great. It's
Yeah.
just like it's weird. I want to shut them off because I'm so different than them. It's like people wearing like an Alabama jersey that says 311 Omaha on the back or whatever their like weird chants are. It's like stoner jocks kind of. That's like the vibe. But they were great, and they were really nice to me. It was me, Doug Benson, Tony Hinchcliffe.
Oh, see, that'd be great. Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's like I'll talk shit up until I realize they're a good crowd, and then I'm like, oh, you guys, I love 311. Great,
Yeah.
good crowd's a good crowd.
I quit smoking weed 5 months before that too. It was so stupid.
Oh man.
And I was with Doug and Tony, who both
right.
I mean, Doug alone.
pot.
Yeah, they're made of pot. And then we went to Jamaica. That was the only destination. So it was very stupid.
Well, you got to get the Jamaican joint while you're there.
I didn't. I sat it out. I fucking was on this sobriety kick, and I'm glad I did it. It wasn't like I don't think pot would have made that experience any better. A fucking cruise ship is so lame.
Yeah.
Like
But you got to meet 311 though.
yeah, I met 311. I
And
found out some
everybody's
information.
friendly on them, right? Because everybody's stuck on a boat, so nobody wants to piss everybody off.
I think on other cruise ships they might be rude, but this one was cool. And the coolest thing is I still smoke cigarettes at this point. You can smoke on the boat in the casino.
Oh, that's a reason to
you
go on
gotta-
a cruise
and
right there.
I just sat there and played blackjack for like 3 days. It was
And you've got
awesome.
a clear perspective on the whole thing too.
Yeah, I'm not fucking stoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you should, have you ever sat there and played video blackjack and smoke for 3 days stoned?
Yes.
It's the balls.
in Vegas.
Yeah, me too.
That's the best.
I love it.
People always hated Vegas. I was like, go smoke a fucking blunt in
go
your hotel room
stoned.
and then
It's the-
sit a fucking continental buffet, Like,
It's the greatest goddamn thing there is. You can be sky high and just smoke all fucking day and play caveman Keno. It's a paradise.
That's excellent. If I could hit pause on my whole life, I would go back to that in a second. It's weird. I don't know what that says about us because some people are like, what would be like the best thing you could do? And you're like, a spa. And I would fucking I would be all healthy and I'd feel great and I'd be all clean. And it's like, I would love a Diet Coke and a cigarette in a casino.
That's most grandmothers.
Diet Coke and a cigarette
Diet
playing
Coke, cigarette,
blackjack.
casino,
That
yeah.
is Andy Haynes' heaven. I fucking love that
Well,
shit.
maybe the old people on the way out have figured out the way to live.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
you're gonna
It's
make an
that
incredible 85-year-old woman.
It's probably better you drink booze, right?
Oh, I get high and I drink booze.
But you get the free booze when you gamble.
Oh, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
We sit down and we play either the cheap blackjack or the caveman Keno, and they come by and they give you the drink. So all you got to do is give them $1, and you can drink them damn watered down Jack and Cokes all day, especially when you sky high and just smoking. And
Yeah,
if you
can
smoke alone,
cigarettes indoors,
it's a smoker's paradise
it's
if you
great.
go.
It's toxic, but it's great.
And some of the places to eat ain't too bad neither.
No, they're getting all classed up now. There's this new classy Vegas, but I remember the only time I've ever done cocaine in my whole life was I did it with a bunch of TV writers. We had a suite about the size of The Hangover. We literally it was like a
One of those huge.
It was
suites.
bigger than anybody's apartment I've ever been in.
Right.
It had like hot tubs that looked like pools and shit like that. And we were all in suits. And I did some coke Only time I ever done it in my whole life. And I smoked a couple blunts. I gambled. I partied. Smoked a bunch of cigarettes. It was fucking excellent. I loved it. Ate at a fucking amazing buffet the next day. I didn't drink, so I didn't have a hangover.
It's great. It's like Elvis, turning day into nighttime, night into daytime, and it's just all day. What time of day is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. I get how people like lose themselves to that city.
It's real easy to just kind of get lost in it.
Especially because you can't tell what time of day it
Yeah,
is.
that's the best part.
Yeah.
Oh, is it 5? I don't know.
What was the food like on the 311 cruise?
You know, it's just cruise ship food.
Oh, okay.
So
Just
it was
buffet
actually
stuff.
pretty good. You know, those cruise ships are interesting because a lot of it's fucking mush. You know, it's buffet food.
Right.
So, but they oddly, if you get on a nicer tier of cruise, they got a lot of South Asian people that work on the ship. So they make a lot of really great Indian food.
Oh, no shit.
And then you'll also get like Filipino people that know how to make like really great Chinese food.
Oh, God,
And then
that
they
sounds
also, you know, health food is popular now. So you get a healthy option.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that they're all inclusive. So you eat whenever the fuck you want to. There's no meal time. And like things like, you know, it's like 4 a.m. You smoked a bunch of cigarettes. You're just about to go to bed, but you're like, man, I got a fucking soft serve cone. It's just sitting there. Just have as much. You can fucking eat soft serve till you shit your pants. It's great.
That sounds like a floating Vegas.
Yeah, it is essentially.
What's the first song you're trying to learn on piano?
Fuck. I don't know. Maybe
Chopsticks.
No, I think it's gonna be what's that?
The thing from Big.
Yeah,
Pride and Joy, or
yeah. Pride and Joy. I want to learn Pride and Joy, but I also want to learn Big Pimpin'.
Oh, yeah. You get the steel drum. I feel like you could get that in an afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the steel drum on the sample. The
I mean, I think all of us as comics, we have a illusion that someday we're going to pick up an instrument and somehow it's going to turn into some kind of success. Like
Yeah, of
somebody's going to
course.
be like, we need you to play music now, and you're going to be able to fucking express yourself.
Yeah,
because we don't get to do that as stand-ups, really, which is a bummer. You can't really like be up there telling a joke and being like, you know, like fucking pulsating, like throwing your crotch at women.
unless it's going real well.
You got to be a different thing. That's not the kind of comic I am.
Unless you're
He does a lot of crotch chopping. And
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Butt Rock Brett. Yeah, our friend Butt Rock Brett.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I'm like Fraser Crane of comedy, you know, like it's very subdued and literal.
And now you get the headphones too. So.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to Jazz Talk.
I'm gonna learn Big Pimpin' today.
I'm gonna learn pork salad and scrambled
There you
eggs.
go. I mean, I hear the blues like
I would pay $100 to see a Kelsey Grammer jazz concert easily. I'd easily pay $100.
But
for
where
that.
in the set does he do scrambled eggs?
Yeah.
Oh,
It must come
It'll
out.
be like the Jeff Goldblum one where
Can
he
you
has to end with
imagine?
that.
There's got to be some kind of written history of how he got himself into that voicing that song. There has to be something
Yeah.
where he fought for it, and they were like, "Kelsey, no way," and he was like, "I won't do the show," you know, and they fucking.
I was successful on Cheers for 12 years.
It's like, well,
and I
we
demand
could-
this.
We could have it be Kelsey Grammer sing it, or we could just switch it around and make it the Lilith spinoff, you know?
who else sings their own theme song in TV?
Well, everybody
'Cause
used to,
there
right?
were- well-
Green Acres and all that.
I mean, like in that era, it was just Kelsey Grammer and Chuck Norris. That was it. Who
That's
sings-
true. Walker.
You called that singing.
Chuck Norris sang the Walker, Texas. Ranger.
Yeah.
Oh, do you
It's
think that
called-
was a professional? The eyes of the ranger are upon you.
If anything, Chuck Norris is an auteur, so it's total creative.
You know, the
vision.
end of that song used to bug me, Rivers. See that thing?
That part?
No, the part about when your Texas look behind you, because that's where the ranger will be. I didn't think this was that kind of show.
Also, I love the anvil.
It sounds like wrestling entrance music.
Eyes of a ranger, the unsuspecting stranger, had better know the truth of wrong from right.
He even talks out of key.
God, Trevette's such a badass.
Fucking Trebet. CD's such a chump, dude. Noble Willingham. There it is.
Behind you, cause that's where the ranger's gonna be.
CD is such.
Was that shit big in the
Wolford
South? Like,
Brimley.
did you guys eat that up?
Oh, fuck
Oh, that
yeah.
shit was big everywhere.
Well,
if you had a grandma,
was
she
just-
liked Walker, Texas
my
Ranger.
mom used to watch Walker,
exactly
Texas
what I was
Ranger,
gonna
Nash
say.
Bridges.
Sammo Hung had a show for a
she
minute.
loved
Do I
martial
get to
law.
fight?
What was that show called? Martial
Law.
Martial
My
Law.
mom
I remember
loved
that, yeah.
Renegade. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Oh, the Renegade with the
The
mullet.
idea of like a noble cowboy that knew karate, that fucking swept America up. Their hearts loved it.
Hey baby, I hear the blues are calling, tossed salads and scrambled eggs. Mercy. And maybe I seem a bit confused. Yeah, maybe, but I got you pegged. But I don't know what to do with those tossed salads and scrambled eggs. They're calling again. Scrambled eggs all over my face. What is a boy to do? Good night, everybody.
Andy, where can people find you on the internet, sir?
I'm Andy Haynes.
Who? I'm kidding.
Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and I have a website, Andy Haynes. I'm AndyHaynes.com.
All right.
I mean,
Hell
who goes to websites, so really?
yeah. I mean, just somebody.
Yeah, that's where you
Hopefully.
can find me.
Hell yeah.
Schedule's on there too.
Yeah, thanks for listening for 100 episodes, everybody. This is fucking cool, man. It's really cool.
Thanks,
it feels,
dudes.
Feels good.
Do you feel a sense of accomplishment after 100, or just feel old and
I don't know. I just
like you're getting incontinent?
Can
or
I suggest
something?
the song that's apropos
Yeah,
based
fuck.
upon where the inspiration
yeah.
show came
Well,
from?
first let's tell them rate, review, subscribe. Go
Indeed.
to iTunes.
And we're going to take you out
We're
with...
on Facebook, facebook.com/thegoods pod. We're on Twitter @thegoods pod. Rate, review, subscribe. Pat, what are we hearing for episode
we're
100?
going to take you out with James Brown's cover of I Love You for Sentimental Reasons, performed on the show Future Shock. And James Brown is probably real coked up performing this. So.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate. We start with James Brown, and we go into our next 100
And
shows.
we end with James Brown. And what does episode 101 hold? That could be Future Shock.
Yep, absolutely. All right, we'll see you next week.
And this comes from one of my older albums called Hot. A thing that keep coming up every now and then. I had the pleasure of doing this on a spot I did a while back for a very worthy cause. Keep watching. You'll see it everywhere. And it goes like this. I love you for sentimental reason. I hope you do believe me. I've given you my heart. I love you. You alone were meant for me. Please give your loving heart to me. Say we'll never part. I think of you every morning. Then I dream of you every night. Darling, I'm never lonely whenever you are in. I love you. You alone were meant for me. Please give your loving heart to me. Say we'll never part. Look at him. Can you make it funky? Good God. Can you make it good to me? I want to know. Make it funky, yeah, yeah. Can you make it good to me? Baby. Baby. Like I want to get up. Baby. Oh, baby. Baby. Look at you. Need my roots. Gotta go back. Baby. Just want to say to Houston, I love you. You alone were meant for me. Please give your loving heart to me. Say we'll never part. And I love you. For sentimental reason. Hope you do believe me. I'm giving you my all. I think of you every morning. Then I dream of you every night. Darling, I'm never lonely whenever I'm my heart. Now make it funky. Look at here. Now make it good to me.
The Goods from the Woods was mixed, edited, and distributed by me, Rivers Langley. You can find the show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by DJ Smiles. Check him out on Twitter at DJ Smiles.